Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Sim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So, where are the Venezuelans? I hope you all are doing great because 1 minute you were singing, we both the drop screaming, screaming. You both. Who are you voting for now? Are you still voting for him? Now, let me tell you this. At some point, Black people became you people's problem because you all, I don't know what even gave you people the zeal to say things like this. But now you all can see that Black people are far away from your problem. That in fact, they were trying to bring everybody together to do the right thing. Now, look at what is going on. I mean, you would just be going out on your own and boom, you are being deported. You are Venezuelans, but they are taking you to Salvador, El Salvador, right? To the prison. And you all are not scared at this point. Are you people not scared? Of course, you are scared. You are terrified. Because even the ones with papers are scared to do some certain things because they fear that they might also be taken back home, knowing fully well that they are completely nuts. And like some people's skin color will give them away straight up, or the way they speak will give them away straight up. Some people can't even go to school. Why? Because they fear that they might be deported at any slighted mistake. And now you all are crying for help. See, one thing I am going to say is that I hope you all remember this particular moment that is going on right now, because if you all ever forget it, you all will experience the worst of it. Let's get into this.
A few hours later.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. And if I sound more congested today than I did yesterday, your ears do not deceive you. Yeah, I guess I did a little too much on yesterday. I flew too close to the sun because I'm having some sort of relapse. Anywho, if you've come across this video and are not subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you've come across this video out there on social media, please make sure you're following me on all of my social media pages. You can find me on TikTok, you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Blue Sky, on Skylight, and on Threads. And of course, you can find me over at the home base on YouTube. It was all fun and games back during the campaign. They were singing and dancing and proudly saying that they were going to be voting for Donald Trump, and that they did. They overwhelmingly went into the voting booth to vote for Donald Trump. Latino men overwhelmingly by 54% voted for Donald Trump. Latino women overwhelmingly voted for Kamala Harris, but still too many of them voted for Donald Trump. And now they are all down there in Florida and in South Florida talking about how Donald Trump betrayed them, how Donald Trump used them. That was the Venezuelan Americans who overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump. And why are they crying? Because Donald Trump, who told them repeatedly during the campaign that there will be mass deportations and they may be bloody, and they still went into the voting booth and voted for him. Now he's coming through on what he said. He lied to them and told them that he was only going after the criminals, and they believe that shit. A lot of them down there in South Florida believe they're better because they had their citizenship handed to them on a silver platter. They think they're better than the other ones who are coming in through the border seeking citizenship. Instead of helping them to get citizenship, they turn their nose up to the people who are coming in through the border. Anywho, I'm a Miami girl. I grew up in Miami. I know how those Cubans are down in Miami. But check this out.
A man in Tampa is desperately trying to get his wife back to the United States after she and dozens of other Cubans were deported.
He says he was in the process of getting a green card, but when she went to an ICE check-in on Tuesday, they detained her.
As he told 10 Tampa Bay's Chris Hurst through a translator, he worries they will not be reunited anytime soon.
The last time I spoke with her was this morning, and then this afternoon I spoke with her, and she is in Cuba at her mother's house.
Carlos Valle came from Cuba more than a decade ago after his family won a lottery.
We were escaping misery and hunger and all the problems that are there. It was a lot worse for Haiti because she was suffering a lot more.
Carlos says Haiti to Haita's road was tougher. Arriving at the U.S.-Mexico border in 2020, she waited in Mexico while her entry application was reviewed.
It seems that Cuba and the United States didn't have a relationship, so they were not taking in prisoners. So then they decide to let her into the United States.
But she came here under a Form I-220 order of supervision, meaning she could be deported at any time.
She has been doing a lot to, do good here. She studied for the CNA exam, and she works caring for elderly people.
Carlos became a U.S. citizen before they met. In 2023, she applied for a green card because she was now married to a citizen. But she got a call Monday saying to come into the Tampa office the next day.
A lot of people even told me not to go to the appointment because they would leave her detained. But because we want to do the things right, the way that we're supposed to, we went.
She was taken into custody. Yesterday, she was sent back to Havana on a plane with other Cubans with the same status.
I agree that they are deporting people that are criminals, but why are you targeting innocent people? Why are you targeting family people that are just working hard?
But he says he's determined to keep fighting for that green card and for his family. In Tampa, Chris Hurst, 10 Tampa Bay.
And we were able to speak to ICE late this afternoon. While they couldn't confirm where Haiti currently is, they do have a team reviewing records and are waiting for clearance from the D.C. office before they can release more information.
I know where Haiti is. Haiti is in Cuba. Within 3 days, 72 hours, they rounded that woman up, got her on a plane, and shipped her back to Cuba. You see, I believe what these people don't understand is that you may be here, you may have paperwork and all of that jazz, but if you are not a United States citizen, if you can't prove that you are a legal United States citizen to this administration, you are here illegally. And that screams criminal. That little paper that she thought was going to protect her, no. If you are not a legal United States citizen to this administration, you are here illegally. Therefore, you are the criminal. You know who wouldn't have deported her? Kamala Harris. You can read her entire story in this article over at the Miami Herald. She came in one way, and the way that she came in, she was put back out because she didn't come in correctly. And so all of these immigrants were waiting in this border town in Mexico, down at the southern border. They were waiting to be called, their number to be called for a hearing or whatever. She got tired of waiting, and she got into the United States a different way and was given that form that they spoke of in the news report, right? But because she didn't wait in that area which was designated for them to wait for their number to be called to go to this hearing, her number got called. She didn't show up to the hearing, and so she ended up in the system some kind of way. See, all the while Joe Biden was in office, she was safe. She was living the American dream because he wasn't looking to go after people who had this particular paperwork that she was able to obtain by going in through another port of entry. Okay? But that's not flying with this administration. No. You are still in the system as not showing up for that hearing, even though you got this little paper You are still here illegally. And so this is what happens. This is what happens when you don't thoroughly educate yourself and recognize that elections have consequences. Now, I feel sorry for the baby because they got a baby, and the baby was still breastfeeding when they scooped her up. And so now the baby is not eating because, yeah, she was tragically snatched from the bosom. The baby is now in the hospital. But this is what happens when you vote against your best interest. Kamala Harris would not have deported her. Kamala Harris would have created a pathway so that she can get her citizenship. Yeah, where's my little dance?
The mass deportation regulations are shaking. Currently in America, Trump is working alongside ICE to remove all the Latin and Latinx people out of America back to their countries of origin, even if some of those people actually have been American citizens for over 20 years. Now, there's a young man that lived here, Ricardo Vasquez. He's from Venezuela. Well, he went on the wrong bridge in Detroit, and he ended up getting deported to a high-security El Salvadorian prison. There's a lot to this story. Let's talk about it. It's been a huge news story the past couple of weeks that there was a list of El Salvadorian gang members, allegedly, that Trump deported and had sent back to a high security prison in El Salvador. One of the people that got deported actually was an American citizen, and Trump asked for that man back. Well, the El Salvadorian president said no. He said, no, sorry, I don't care if he's one of yours. You can't have him back. Going with the rhetoric that other countries are going on right now, very anti-American, and it's like global. So he had to stick it to Trump and say, I don't care if he was one of yours and you want him back. I said no. And that's kind of what it's giving. Well, these people, these El Salvadorian prisoners, they have been identified as MS-13. They've been identified by their tattoos. Now, I know you're wondering, how can Trump have all these people just moved out without thoroughly going through the proper documentation? Well, he ignited a law called the Aliens Enemies Act. It's a century-old act. We're going to get into the description in a minute, but he was able to deport in one day 137 people. 101 are deported under the regular immigration procedures, and then 23 Salvadorian men were deported with alleged ties to gangs, the MS-13. Now, there are some regulations that the government tried to put into place, but Trump went after the deadline that he had to have the paperwork in, and basically they just did a half-butt job. They just sent in whatever after the deadline, like, yeah, these are the people we deported and these are the reasons why. The people were already gone by the time they were supposed to look deeply into these regulations anyway. This is Trump picture with the El Salvadorian president, and he's not playing. This is April 14th, just a week or so ago, when he looked in Trump's face in that press conference and told him, no, I'm not giving back that father, husband, man of the house to those people. I don't care. He ain't going back. And y'all have to understand, these people are disappearing. Like they said that it seems as though they're going into a black hole. One day they're home and then they're just gone. And the regulations that the government was trying to put in place, why they were asking for that paperwork, because they said that that can create an authoritarian nation where they could just pick up anybody and do anything. And that's what's happening, because there's nothing that the average American can really do about what's going on in this regime right now anyway. And that sentiment causes people like Ricardo Vasquez to have to suffer. He was in Detroit and he was working for a food delivery service like a DoorDash, Uber Eats situation. Well, he had a delivery of McDonald's and he ended up going on the Ambassador's Bridge. The Ambassador's Bridge is a bridge that connects Detroit, Michigan to Windsor, Canada. Now, people from Detroit are able to go to Windsor anytime they want with a passport. When he tried to turn around, they immediately detained him and he got locked up in ICE and on the way sent back to El Salvador, a country he's not from. This man is Venezuelan. He was able to get in contact with one of his friends in Chicago. He said that he was stationed in Texas and they were about to send him to that maximum security prison in El Salvador. They're trying to get him back and they have not seen him since. And I told y'all, the El Salvadorian president already didn't give back the man Trump asked for. So I don't even know if Trump can ask for another man. It seems like a moot point at this point. Prayers for you, Ricardo Prada Vasquez. We're praying for you. But to me, this is given very much Holocaust, Elie Wiesel Knight kind of vibes. Anne Frank. They just came and got us in the middle of the night, knocked on our doors, and we had to go. It's a very scary time. So prayers to all the Latinx people that are living in America right now. This is hard to watch, and I know it's harder for y'all to go through.
This is all I got from this video, and this, I didn't know how to start, where to start from, but something I am just going to tell Venezuelans, Latinos, all of them, all these brown color, people of color, right? The truth is that you all had all the opportunity to stop everything. Why am I saying this? I am saying this because if you all had listened to Black people, if you all had joined force with Black people to do the right thing, I am sure today nobody will be saying this. I am sure today nobody will be crying about being deported over some certain things, like, that to the extent that I saw so many videos as of yesterday. People are like eyes. We just wake up and once they know that you are not white, automatically you are a suspect. They now break into people's houses. So you can imagine the trauma they are also causing people. Even the people that have their papers complete are also like not safe too, because you might make one mistake and that is the end of you. Like you will be deported to El Salvador. Right? Now, tell me how they left where they were supposed to deport the person and deported the person to another place. Are you people seeing the problem that you all caused by yourselves? Because all these things were very much avoidable. This would have been very much avoidable because they were all avoidable mistakes. But you all called people that look like me names. You all went to the extent that you were so busy promoting this man. I mean, some of you, we're like, oh, that is the best human being for us, that he promised you peace, he promised you everything, that he is the best human alive. And now, the people that say he is the best human alive are crying. And I am asking, why are you crying? I mean, you can't just tell me November, December, January, February, March, right? April. And he came into office in January, right? So January to February is 1 month, February to March is 2, March to April is going to be 3. Okay, 3 months, right? And you have what you have seen just in 3 months. It's way beyond you, right? Kids are being deported for no reason. Families are being separated. I mean, you might be going out to discharge your duty and you will be profiled for no reason. And the worst part is that when they profile you, they all come together. That is this. The Democrat Party, the MAGAs, will come together and say that you are a criminal. And for that reason, they do not need criminals. That is to tell you how they have disrespected you people so badly. Now, I hope you all remember this moment. All these things going on because majority of you are idiots. in the sense that tomorrow you might forget what happened to you. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because I remember what happened to Latinos in Florida in 2 years ago, if I am not 2, 3 years ago. And if Latinos could forget what happened in Florida, I do not trust them because they will still forget this particular moment. But trust me, they will see the harder part if they ever forget this particular history. When you guys were going all over screaming, you will both Donald Trump, you guys were not listening. There were black people were calling you. There was nothing you people did not call black people. I remember bringing video of a man saying that black people are the most racist human beings. You know, where is he from? Latino. He's a Latino man. Where are they today? Everybody's on the hiding. Businesses are suffering because majority of you cannot come out to do business fully well. Because majority of you are also scared that if anything happens, they might just send them back home. I hope this continue to ring bell in your ears, so you all will remember that you see this particular mistake, you will never repeat it again. I am signing out. Bye for now.